And welcome to We Have It on Draft. This is your host, Monty, and here's my other host, Ryan.
How's it going?
And we're here after a long extended break of us just being kind of pieces of shit and not doing this enough. And we're
giant pieces of shit. We hung out for 2 weekends in a row.
we didn't do it. We're sorry, but here we are with a crap ton of news. Like so much news that we'll probably have to get to some of it even next episode, but we'll do our best to fit as much as we can in.
Absolutely, man. It's going to be a lot of free agency soup today.
So let's just dive into it. So let's start with the news from today. Oh, at least today for us. And that is Brandon Cooks, after being traded last offseason for a first-round pick, was traded again this offseason from the Patriots to the Los Angeles Rams, a.k.a. the new super team.
They are now the Golden State Warriors. It's official. That's what they're doing. And it makes sense for both teams, by the way. Like, the Rams didn't need that first-round pick. I would think it was more than – I think this is a fair trade. Like, would I give a first-round pick to have Brandon Cooks? Yeah, I would.
I mean, let's keep in mind, too, the Rams also got a fourth-round pick out of this.
Yeah, which isn't like a bad – especially in this draft, too, which is pretty stocked up. Like, that's not a bad pick at all. I mean, the thing is just think about what you could take at that level. You could maybe go after Galloway from Florida. You can probably go after Auden Tate.
Callaway.
Callaway. Excuse me.
Yeah. I don't think he'll go that early, to be honest. He's such a good player, but he has a lot of off-field issues. So he's gonna be an interesting storyline.
No, you touched on that, but you said that he could impress teams with maturity, and they could think, well, fuck, like maybe let's just take him.
For sure, but I mean, we haven't talked a lot since the combine on here. But Callaway didn't impress me like I was hoping he would. He did an alright performance, but anyway, regardless of that, Cooks, I mean, that is an insane trade for the Rams. I mean, he is I love Cooks. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL under 25 years old. He's
Absolutely. 24, right?
Yep, 24. He's had 3,000-yard receiving years in a row. And
two different quarterbacks.
Yeah, two different great quarterbacks, to be fair.
Two different best quarterbacks of all time, but still it's two different systems. And, I mean, he thrived in both. So it's like, and I know that obviously these two teams, it's not like he went to the Browns and was balling out on people, but he succeeded and over-succeeded. I mean, what did he have last year? Was his yards numbers? Like
it was some of the lower end for Brandon Cooks. He had some really high numbers when he was in New Orleans, but last year he still made 1,000. It was only 1,082 yards and 7 touchdowns, but he has just been so impressive throughout his career. I really like him, but I get why the Patriots are down from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. They don't really need him.
Yeah,
if they can keep building from the within, maybe get Brady some help, maybe get a new Brady.
We'll see. But I mean, if you look into this, like, we're gonna get into how much all these wide receivers got paid, but I think the Patriots are seeing these numbers for worse receivers and Cooks, and like, eek, I don't want to pay him that much money.
They saw Sammy Watkins and was like, oof.
Yeah,
go away.
Like, we can draft a wide receiver that good with that pick if we want to. Like, we're the goddamn New England Patriots. Like, we'll figure it out.
Find a guy at Dunkin' Donuts, and he's probably pretty good. Played D3 lax.
Yeah.
No, they don't need. They never needed Brandon Cooks. I mean, it absolutely helped. I mean, that was one of Tom Brady's. Statistically, that's one of Tom Brady's favorite targets of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he had more like deep passes from anybody since like Randy Moss or something.
Yeah, and that was the perfect comparison when we both saw that. We were like, okay, it's Randy Moss again. It's just a younger Randy Moss, and now that he's in LA, though, I think he's going to still thrive there. I don't think there's going to be anything different. That team, especially with Cooper Kupp there, And they have Todd Gurley. They have that good game going, and
Yeah, I mean they needed a number one wide receiver. I mean
a
they
definitive number one, I would say, because they always were kind of like teeter tottering with Watkins or
yeah, and I mean they lost
Cox.
Watkins. I think Watkins could have been that guy, but they weren't able to keep him. So now they're stuck with Robert Woods and Cup, and who are great receivers. I love both those guys in that offense, but they're not bona fide number ones. Here's a crazy stat about Brandon Cooks. He's had 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns in each of the last 3 seasons. The only other player in the NFL who's hit those marks since
Calvin.
then, Antonio Brown, not the
Uh,
retired guy.
not the retired guy. Is that his name now? Did he legally change to retired guy?
Yep.
I mean, overall, like you can't. This is, I personally think this is a win-win for both teams. It fits both of their needs. The Rams didn't need that first pick. They still have value with the four pick, and they don't. They get a number one solidified wide receiver, which they weren't really going to get unless maybe they wanted to take the dice on Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, and Brandon Cooks is very good for the Patriots. Like we said, he's one of the best receivers that Brady had in a while. But I also don't think he didn't torch the world. Like they're not like losing a like Randy Moss. They're just losing a great wide receiver. But at the same time, that's really other than Randy Moss has never been Tom Brady's game. He spreads the ball out. I'm so excited to see how Sean McVay is going to use Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm. And that offense too. I mean, he just finds a way to. Especially, and I think like, another thing to notate too is that Brandon Cooks is another young guy, and we've seen Sean McVay work with young people and get them just going.
He can
So
really relate to them. He's a good coach. He's a good player coach. But man, let's just dive into this a little bit and let's just start here and let's talk about the Rams a little bit and what the Rams have done this
let's
offseason. I mean, one thing that comes to my mind is just like first, like this team could win the Super Bowl. Second is like is these super teams they don't always work out. I mean, you think of the dream team with the Eagles, like I don't know. There's a lot of big egos and characters on this team. I mean, they went out and got Ndamukong Suh for $14 million. I mean,
yeah.
Great signing. I love it, but they go out and get
I'm not
Aqib
a huge
Talib
fan.
and trade for him. They trade for Marcus Peters, both some of the probably potentially top five corners in the NFL. But there's a reason they got traded, and it's because they're a problem.
Character issues, and
Yeah,
so it's like maybe if you want to. And I guess I never really thought when I first initially saw the Ndamukong Suh signing, I was like, "Wow, that's a really good signing." Then I thought about it, and I was like, "Is he gonna mix in there with a young head coach? He's older than the head coach, I think, or he's not older. He's around his age.
yeah. I don't think he's older, but he's close in
No,
the
he's
age. Yeah,
20. I think I think Ndamukong Suh is 28. But I was just thinking, I don't. Marcus Peters is there. Keeps the Ndamukong Suh. I think Todd Gurley is a pretty good presence, but his character might get exacerbated a little bit with all those other big heads around. That's my fear. I still think it's a good signing, but I don't. It is a little worrisome. But I think this team could honestly do some serious damage. I think they could go 14-2 pretty easily.
yeah, man. I'm gonna be interested in seeing what these over unders are going to be this team. But overall, I really do like the signings. I think Marcus Peters was a great grab. I think Aqib Talib was a great grab. I think Ndamukong Suh was a great grab. Brandon Cooks, I love it all. To in addition to a team that was already good. But like we said, I mean, each other than Brandon Cooks, each one of those guys all have had their issues. They're all characters. Getting one of those guys, fine. But you get three of those guys and you bring them to the same
On the
team.
same side of the ball.
I'm going to be interested to see how a young coach like Sean McVay handles that.
Also, too, I'm a little concerned with the signings. Ndamukong Suh was 1 year. I think he's trying to make his push to be paid like a quarterback. So I don't know. He might not follow like defensive strategy. He did it with the Lions, so trust me, like he would not follow plays and
Yeah.
he would kind of just go after like a sack and a big hole would lead up. Dominic Easley is only a 1 year sign too.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
you know how you get paid in Ndamukong Suh? You win a Super Bowl.
I mean, Dolphins didn't.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to get a long-term good contract, if he wins a Super Bowl, he's going to get it.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sorry. I thought you meant like you know how you like you know what happens if you sign him. I'm like, Not much.
No,
Like,
no, I'm saying if you
yeah,
want to
you win
get
a Super
paid,
Bowl.
you win a Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, look at
His
those.
agent, his agent knew that. He was like, "Well, the Rams are stacking up, so
Yeah, I mean, look at all those Broncos players got big money to get signed away from that team after they won a Super Bowl on defense.
look at Marcus Butler or Malcolm Butler.
Yeah,
He got a huge contract from the
he
Titans,
had an awful year last year.
and he's not. I don't want to say he's over. I think he is still a gem that was found, but he's not worth that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's had like great number one seasons, and he's also had just down seasons. But anyway, yeah, let's just dive into it, Lauren. Let's talk about some of our favorite signings from this offseason.
Great. So let's just go with a little bit of favorites. I am kind of falling in love with a certain running back. He went to New England. I'm talking about here, Jeremy Hill. I love the Jeremy Hill thing. I think it's so great. I think it's so cool. I'm so amped for it. I think it's going to add another dynamic to that offense. Their backfield is stacked. Lose Dan Lewis, get Jeremy Hill. It's going to be a fun day in New England. It's not a huge signing. It's just a 1 year deal, little small bucks. But I think it's just going to keep that Patriots offense as dynamic as possible, and they can keep pounding Rex Burkhead. They can keep going, with anyone else they really want to. And they resign a good amount of their own line. And they also got Cordell Patterson, too, which I really like.
Yeah,
But more so is Jeremy Hill. I like the Jeremy Hill offense. I think he's going to be a contributor right off the bat. I'm not saying he's Curtis Martin. Could be.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Cordell Patterson was a trade, but as far as Jeremy Hill,
Oh, I'm sorry, he was right.
yeah, that's right. Anyway, he's a good signing. I do like it. I really was interested seeing where he was going to go. I feel like they already kind of have that guy in Gillislee, but they just kind of took him out of the offense last year, so maybe he'll just take it over. Who knows? But I mean, Jeremy Hill was took over
Trade
the
piece
world
undrafted.
when he came in the league, but he's been below average since then. I really do think it's a good sign though. It's a no risk, high
Yeah,
reward type
no risk, high
signing
reward. Absolutely.
that the Patriots love. The Patriots always get those like, he was a first round pick and good as a rookie, and then he sucks now, and then he's good again
Oh,
on the
but he will be amazing.
yeah.
It's
So
so weird
I
because that Cincinnati New England running back trail only goes to New England. Who's the between because they've been
yeah,
swapping running backs for a good amount of time now, for
I
like
don't
at
even
least
know
15.
who has even gone to the Bengals.
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis,
Well, Ben
I
Jarvis
guess.
Greenhouse came from or
No,
no.
no, he
Oh,
went.
you're right.
No,
You're
he
right. You're
started in
right.
New
I
England
was
and he
thinking.
went back.
No, you're right. I had it backwards. Yeah, you're right.
But that's the only guy.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the
But
only
that's the
one.
I was thinking he came from the Bengals. But you're correct. Yeah, and then they went out and got Rex Burkhead. Now they got Jeremy Hill. So
I
now
love it.
it's now it's time for the Bengals to take somebody from them.
Yeah, it's not out. They're just gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna suck forever. So that's cool.
So I'll go ahead and say my favorite signing, not as small of a low key guy, but Tyrann Mathieu to the Houston Texans on a
Hmm.
1 year, $7 million contract. Like, oh my God, like there are so many contracts out here that are getting signed for more than $7 million. And you go out and get one of the best players in the NFL.
Versatile too.
Yeah, he can play corner, he can play free safety, he can probably play strong safety for you too.
I'm assuming.
He is a very good player. Man, he's a guy I wanted the Giants to go out and sign. But good on the Houston Texans going out and getting him. That's a great grab. He's somebody who can be a leader for that defense. As long as he's healthy, he's one of the best players on that field every single time. And that's the big if, but for 1,000,007, like 1 year 7 million, what do you have to lose? You have
Was
nothing.
was that was that less than the Cardinals offered him? Pretty sure it was.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals cut him. I didn't hear anything about them trying to sign him
Well,
back.
remember they wanted him to take a lower pay cut, and I
Yeah,
think I think they wanted him for like one for like 10. I think if I'm not mistaken, but um, I don't know. But anyway, the fact that you're getting this talent for that cheap right now with the defense that you already have, watch out. And then Deshaun Watson comes back, so
yeah, that's gonna be an interesting team. Uh, so another thing, big theme with this free agency is there was a lot of wide receivers that
yeah.
got signed. Some overpaid, some paid just enough. I don't know.
Some failed a
Um,
physical
yes, I feel
apparently.
physical. We'll get into that, but let's start with Sammy Watkins. That was probably my favorite fit of the free agency. I'm kind of mad that I didn't see it coming.
Yeah,
Uh,
that really blindsided me when it said the Chiefs. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
So
I was like, that makes so much fucking sense.
it makes so much sense. So Sammy Watkins to the Chief, uh, 3 year, 48 million, $30 million guaranteed. I mean, I love that signing. I mean, Patrick Mahomes taking over as a second year, really almost a rookie QB. He's a red shirt rookie.
Mm-hmm.
He got that big
Got that red
arm.
shirt, yeah.
Yeah, he's got that big arm. He's got that cannon. I'm excited to see him opposite Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill, as much as I love him, I think he's a great wide receiver. I just don't see him as that number one guy. He
He can't
does
be. He can't be.
he doesn't have the size. He doesn't do enough. He's so fast. He's so great to have, but like he's not he's just not that type of receiver. And I think Samuel Watkins will complement him so well.
I mean, you got to think, especially too. I mean, speed isn't forever, and that's most of Tyreek Hill's game. Once he
Exactly.
loses his speed, like that's like, what are you doing here, man? Like you see him how he hits holes, like the way Alex Smith would find him, because Alex Smith is also a very good quarterback and could expose defenses. But you just had to give him a little bit of a hole or a ball to throw to. He would beat out anybody to get to the ball. Once he stops being able to beat 40 times, it's you don't have a receiver anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to teach himself to run routes and stuff like that. I mean, we'll see
Yeah,
what his longevity is in this league, but yeah, I just don't see him. He's a top tier number two receiver. I just don't see him number one. And honestly, I don't know how much he was number one on the team last year. I think it was probably Travis Kelsey just as much. Who's just
yeah.
another thing to bring up. I mean, Travis Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and then you have a good pass catching back like Kareem Hunt. This is going to be a scary offense.
Yeah, and you got kind of Andy Reid is kind of just unveiling his new QB prodigy, which has been pretty successful in the past, if I can remember. So
Yeah,
I'm not too worried about him. I'm really not worried about Patrick Mahomes not
I think
doing
he's gonna be a
well.
stud. I think
I
Patrick
I think it'll be
Mahomes
Brett
gonna
Favre.
be.
I think it'll be legit gonna be Brett Favre.
I've been saying, well, I think he has a Brett Favre type. He has that type of play style to me. We'll see how it happens. But I mean, like we mentioned before, they paid him a lot. I mean, this is what the Patriots are looking at when they're thinking about paying Brandon Cooks.
Yeah,
What the Rams are gonna be looking at next year. I mean, more than this, I'd say $16 million a season. I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for a guy who's
I think
never really.
it is worth it though. Sometimes, like I think the Patriots are one of the few teams that can be like, no, see you later.
Yeah.
Like,
But like, I mean, this is what free agency is. What they say about free agency is you're giving like A+ money to a B+ player.
well, that's what
But
happened with Marvin Jones, man. I mean, he
yeah,
got paid big time, and he wasn't really that impressive before he got to the Lions, and he just had his first good season.
but the thing is about Sammy Watkins, yes, you're giving A+ money to a B+ player, but you're giving A+ money to a B+ player with A+ potential.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he just was hindered by injuries and then new offensive schemes. It's
Yeah,
really hard for a young guy, and he did very well in St. Louis. 8 touchdowns. That's good for
yeah.
my
I mean,
books.
he
Give
got
him
the
a full season
touchdowns.
under Andy Reid too. That's awesome. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, let's keep in mind Sammy Watkins stayed healthy for a full season for once. So like, give him props on that. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, I think too. What really showed to me was when we looked at the other top receivers of this class is getting signed, and we see a guy who, if you told me if we were talking even mid-season last year, if you asked me who's better, Allen Robinson or Sammy Watkins, I would say 100% Allen Robinson. He got less money.
yeah.
Allen Robinson got
I,
3 years for it, so I think that just shows confidence in the Chiefs to be like, we're gonna fucking pay you, buddy.
yeah,
We're gonna pay you
seriously.
more than Allen Robinson. Like you're a top gunner now, buddy.
Seriously, I mean, Sammy Watkins, I just don't. I think everyone bad talks him about his season last year, but he got the shit on his stick. He came into this new, like, complicated offense. Sean McVay runs a complicated, good offense.
I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
California West Coast thing.
it,
I have no idea.
but it's hard to just break into that with zero time in the preseason with them. I think if you give Sammy Watkins another full off season with them, and he re-signed with them, he would have been a great player with the Rams. But I love the fit with the Chiefs.
It makes a lot of sense. It just makes sense on both ends. And I don't think they overpaid for what they're getting. I think if their analysis is right, I think they're getting the number one receiver for at least the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I
A
think they
good number one
overpaid
receiver.
now. They overpaid now, but every single year these guys get paid more and more. So I mean, who
That just
knows if this?
happens. I mean,
Yeah,
like the NFL economy is so that's not even cylindrical. It just keeps growing. Like I was reading an article from Michigan Live the other day, and it was like give it 2 years, Stafford's contract is going to look like play like Monopoly money.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, probably because they just keep getting paid and paid, and it's going to happen too. I'm sure the next big guy, I'm sure Golden Tate will get around that amount of numbers. God knows what Odell Beckham's going to get,
Yeah. Odell Beckham might get 20 million a year, but
but
I
it's
don't
not like
know.
he doesn't deserve it though. Like some
No, he
teams need
does.
that good receiver.
Yeah, and I think the Giants should pay him. But anyway, yeah, I think Sammy Watkins, he did get overpaid, but I mean
But
they
you're
he's
investing though. You're not.
yeah, he's gonna help that
It's an
team. You're
investment.
investing. He can live up to that money. So we'll see. But another guy you brought up, Allen Robinson. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Allen Robinson, it was such an it's like a clunky fit. I didn't get it when he signed with the Bears. I get it for the Bears if they're like, holy fuck, we just signed Allen Robinson. But for him, I don't understand it. Maybe he wasn't getting the offers because of his injury, but I mean, this is a weird signing for me. He's obviously going to be good, but in that West Coast with Trubisky, I don't know how many. Like, he's not going to like stack up yards. The only thing I can imagine is maybe he kind of did the Alshon Jeffrey, I want to go play with Carson Wentz thing.
Yeah, man, I'm with you 100%. We talked about this a little bit before, but that was definitely, I mean, it's hard to say like the worst signings is a good player on not too bad of a contract. But like you said, I like it for the Bears. I don't like it for Allen Robinson. Now, he just doesn't fit a West Coast offense. I would have loved like a Jarvis Landry type guy there where he
Absolutely.
where he
Hmm.
could have had that quick route running and really been a target for Trubisky. But yeah, I don't really get it. I mean, 3 years, 42 million, 25 guaranteed. It's a good contract for him. It
It's less than
surprised me
Watkins.
he got less than Sammy Watkins, but when I think about it, it's like, all right, he had one great season and then he had a really bad season and he had a torn ACL. So it's like he hasn't been good in like 2 years. So
Yeah, so maybe they're overpaying for him.
yeah, who
You can
knows?
make that argument. I mean, but he
Hmm.
was a good, talented prospect coming out of college, out of Penn State. So it wasn't like when Alan Hearns got paid. It wasn't that crazy. Remember when Alan Hearns got that huge contract a couple years
Yeah,
ago?
that was a waste.
Yeah, and he was like an undrafted free agent who had 1,000 yard year. Like that's
Yeah,
not. I mean, the thing is with Allen Robinson, my concern if I was his agent trying to raise his stock, I definitely would not sign with the Bears because you're not going to pad your stats that much.
yeah, but
I
they
think he's
did
going to get
sign
like
a
800.
he
Yeah, I
signed
think
a
3 years.
3 year deal though, so it's not like he's signing this deal just to move on immediately.
Yeah, but I mean, another thing with we said the West Coast, you said a Jarvis Landry. That's why I love the signing for the Bears. I love how they got Taylor Gabriel. That was perfect for that offense. I think he's going to
Yeah,
work so well.
yeah, I really like him as a piece in there. They need wide receivers bad. I don't know if Taylor Gabriel is necessarily a perfect fit for that West Coast. He's not a bad fit by any means, but it's more than just speed. It's about route running too. But I do think that he is a guy that will fit that offense, and I think Nagy will find good ways to use him.
Nice young
Um,
coach, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I think he'll be a good piece who he'll just be good for the football team. And I think Allen Robinson will, like we said, he'll be good for the Bears. I don't think it's a bad grab by the Bears. I think
It's a
that
good grab, I think.
yeah, I think you got a really talented wide receiver for not as much money as you might have had to pay for him. And I mean, who knows how this works out? I mean, I didn't think Alshon Jeffrey would work in that West Coast offense, and he came out and he balled out, even though he's not like this like quick route runner. He's this big 6'5" field stretcher. I mean, I know that.
He's Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, Allen Robinson is
A
it's
little
similar.
smaller, but
He's more of a speed. Allen Robinson's a little more speed than him,
yeah.
but there's similars in ways. But the thing is, Trubisky isn't Wentz. Wentz has that cannon, and that's why it fits him better. So I don't know. We'll just see. I don't love this fit, but I mean, the Bears had to go out and get a wide receiver, and they got one. So good for them.
I mean, their opening day, their kickoff day, whatever the fuck it's called, is going to be Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Cameron Meredith, and Kevin White.
Mm-hmm.
So
Rest in peace, Kevin White. We'll see if he's
yeah,
anything.
he's going to tear his fucking heart when he realizes that he can't walk.
I do
Poor
like Cam
guy.
Meredith this year, though. I mean, once 1,000-yard receiver. I'm interested what he can be.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They did lose Kendall Wright to the Vikings, though, which I thought was another good sign.
You did? You like that one?
I did like that one. I think that kind of fits their nice little offense. It's a nice little go route for Kirk Cousins. And let's just face it, Kendall Wright can really excel in that offense with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs and Dalvin Cook's right there. And you don't got nothing to worry about. Kyler Rudolph's right there. You can escape into like some slot holes.
You only have to beat out Laquan Treadwell. We know that's not hard.
I don't know. Is he still on the team?
Yeah.
I remember I just saw a Facebook memory, which is the most daunting things in the fucking world. And it was when Calvin retired, and the guy that used to live in my basement, shout out to Alan, he commented on my post and was like, "Who are you going to throw to now?" And I was like, "Hopefully, if the stars align, the Quan Treadwell." I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that would have been bad. That would have been Eric Ebron 2.0.
Oh yeah, Eric Ebron is still so salty. He was getting in arguments with Lions fans. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, get the
Oh my
fuck out of
God,
here!
dude. These
Like,
athletes
grow
need to
up.
grow up. Yeah, seriously.
Like, it just wasn't a good fit, buddy. Like,
Just turn off your mentions, man.
yeah, it's not gonna happen, buddy. But
But
yeah, I
no,
mean, I like the Kendall Wright. I think he's really gonna thrive there, especially with Kirk Cousins.
I
Who,
don't hate it. I mean, Kirk Cousins loves to spread the ball around. He'll get his if he's on the field.
yeah, absolutely, and they'll work his offense in, I'm sure,
Yeah.
unless they just forget how to do that.
So there's a couple more wide receiver signings I really didn't like. Either of these next two I'm going to talk about.
Hit me.
Jordy Nelson, 2 years, 14 million, 13 million guaranteed.
Yeah,
Why, man? Like he had a bad year this year once Aaron Rodgers went down. Like we've seen this before. Greg Jennings left, he did nothing. Like James Jones left, he did nothing. Why are you gonna like think it's gonna work this time with Jordy? I understand that Jordy was a better player than both these, but this guy's getting old. You're paying this guy almost an entirely guaranteed contract. Like, oh my god, it
I
just doesn't
know.
make any sense to me.
And the thing is what I just can't make sense of is that okay, we'll let go of Crabtree and then go sign Jordy Nelson.
Seriously, that's
It's
the
like,
worst part
what the
about it.
fuck are you doing? It's like Crabtree was literally the best receiver for you guys last year.
You're,
Like
you're
Amari Cooper like fell in the dirt. So
Yeah, you're giving this guy like 7 million a year. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't like that. I don't. I think that's a stupid idea. But you know what? I mean, he could have got Tyrann Mathieu for that money. Just saying. But
would
you
have been
know,
cool.
you know what? I'll let you slide on that one and just say like, that's not too much for wide receiver. But then like, you're gonna cut Crabtree to do that? You're gonna cut a like proven good player just
Your
because
best receiver last year. Because
yeah,
and who knows where Amari Cooper falls?
Gruden,
Who knows
Gruden,
where he
Gruden likes those grinders, not those thugs.
they like to play 80s high school football.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, Crabtree only signed for 3 years, 21 million. I
Mm-hmm.
don't. It's not like he was asking for this outrageous amount of money,
No.
and he went across the country to go play.
So yeah, I mean Crabtree got cut. He's sitting there in free agency. Wow. On the other side of the country, this is another one that was almost the disaster of the century. The Ravens are like, we need a wide receiver. Let's get Ryan Grant. No, not the running back. Let's get the wide receiver.
The guy who was borderline special teams 2 years ago. That
Yeah.
guy. That sounds good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll get him. Yeah.
Let's
That's
offer him a fuck ton of money.
yeah. Let's give him all of our money. Like, let's give him $30 million.
It was 4 years, 30 million, right? Or
4 years,
28,
29, basically.
29,
Yeah.
Yeah.
14
And
million
then
guaranteed.
I think he would have pretended to fail that physical, regardless of Crabtree coming over, because it was like, he actually failed his physical. He's an NFL player who's never been hurt.
Seriously, they're like they sign him, and then like they're like, oh yeah, he failed his physical as he signs he passes a physical like 2 days later,
In the
and
same state.
fails a physical while he's the day that Michael Crabtree gets cut.
Yeah, I found very convenient
Yeah.
the contract details. Someone must have been fucking drunk as shit and was like, "Yeah, we'll give you 29 million.
Yeah.
Are you? I'm not the running back. No, we know. Okay.
Seriously, God, I mean, I can't blame Ryan Grant for going out and taking that,
No,
but
absolutely not. I would have changed my fucking identity, my name. Yeah, I can play running back.
yeah,
All right, cool.
but like he almost got Deal's entry, and thank God for the Ravens that they got out of that. Crabtree, I thought ended up being a good signing, but um,
I
Brian
think he's a
Brian
good
Grant
singer.
made no sense. Like that guy has been nothing. He like got his first start this year for the Redskins. Like it literally made no sense to me. They bailed out. That would have been the flop of the offseason, but luckily they came to their senses after Crabtree got cut and pretended he failed his physical.
Yeah, they pretended. I mean, and like to be fair, now Ryan Grant, he got signed by the Redskins, right?
No, he was on the Redskins. He went to the
Oh,
Colts.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. He went to the Colts. That's right. Well, the Colts just lost Dante Moncrief, which I don't understand how the
Also
Jag.
another awful signing.
Yeah, 1 year, 7 million, and then you signed Marquise Lee for 4 years, 34 million, and you couldn't. You're telling me you couldn't even try to get Allen Robinson back? Are these guys really that much better? And then you let go of Allen Hurns, and you're still paying him too. While he's on the Cowboys, making 2 for 12. Um, I think the signing that I didn't really 100% understand at all was Paul Richardson getting paid top three wide receiver money for this class. Here's 40 million.
Jeez. Wow, that's
It's
a
like,
lot. That's way too much for Paul Richardson.
yeah, and it's like that is bad. It's just like I just don't. I've never seen him succeed. To be fair, he's never been anywhere else with Seahawks, but like, or again in the Jets too. But like, I just don't. I would never pay him that much money.
No.
And a 5 year contract too. Like, are you fucking high?
I mean, it was the offseason overpaying wide receivers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what exactly what you said. Dante Moncrief got almost 10 million. Like, that's nuts. These guys just got way overpaid. Uh, God, it just makes me mad. Let's move on to another position.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
let's talk about a couple positive position. A couple of these offensive linemen.
Yay. Yay, offensive lineman. Let's start in Jacksonville.
Yep. So a guy that I wanted the Giants to get super bad, and then Tom
It's a good movie.
Coughlin came out here. Tom Coughlin came out here and cucked his old Giants and got Andrew Norwell on a 5 year, $65 million contract.
Yeah, he just came in there and punched right in the fucking dick.
Yeah,
It's
I
like, I'll
mean
be taking this.
it makes a lot of sense for the Jaguars. That's gonna be great for Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not like he went. It's not like he was about to get signed by the Giants, and then the Jaguars traded two of their guards because they really just wanted him. It makes sense. It's a great fit. It's going to really help. Like Eric Blount, it's going to help Leonard Fournette and Blake Bortles really complete that offense. I don't know. I'm not high on the Jaguars next year, but this does help them a lot, and I like it. It's a good move. One of the best PFF graded guards.
Yeah, I mean he was an All-Pro guard. If you're getting an All-Pro player, I mean you're doing a good job. They paid him less than what the Giants paid Nate Soldier, but again, I mean after losing out on Andrew Norwell, I mean for 5 years, 65 million, $30 million guaranteed, the Giants knew they had to make a move. Went out, got a left tackle, 4 years, $62 million, 35 guaranteed.
Yeah, you needed that too. I mean, you really needed a solidified left tackle, and especially for the upcoming draft, it's going to help you in your draft traffic too. Just having Nate Solder. Once you get that solidified left tackle, you can do what you want with Eric Flowers. You can kill him. You can move him to right tackle. I don't know, whatever you guys want.
Kill him would be my preference.
I hope he listens. I hope he's a huge fan of this, and he's like, "Oh no, they don't like me."
Go fuck yourself, buddy. I don't care.
Then he's gonna make a counter podcast. He's gonna quit the
Yeah.
Giants. But I mean, this is a big year for interior linemen, especially. Weston Richburg got a huge contract from the 49ers. I mean, that was some big money dealing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought they overpaid for him. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I mean, at the same time, I've heard that like the 49ers had to spend like a certain amount this year to like they could only carry over so much. So like, why not just pay him? I don't know.
What a fucking luxury.
They're gonna
We have
front,
to spend this money.
yeah, they're gonna front load these contracts so they have to pay him less later. It's not a bad
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, but so as far as Solar goes, it's like I said before, you're paying A+ money for a B+ player. I mean, you're giving him the number one money of all left tackles in the league. I mean, he had an off year as far as this PFF grade goes, but I heard that it was like through the first 5 weeks he
Like cancer.
his like kid had cancer, I believe, and he obviously was off. He had a really bad grade. If you're looking for a reason why he was so bad, that's why. And he was a top three tackle through the rest of the season. So
Yeah, so you don't want to look too. I mean, it's good to know that though, because it does definitely justify. No one's going to question like, "Oh, your kid had cancer." No
yeah,
thanks. No, thank you. I said.
definitely.
Yeah,
So let's I mean, one guy we've touched on probably like 6 times already.
yeah.
Just the every notes, Kirk Cousins. I think
The
everyone knows about that one by now. But
best offensive lineman in the class, I
okay,
agree.
yeah, no more. I'm not talking off of the line, but Kirk Cousins at quarterback. I mean,
Uh,
it was
um,
3 years, $84 million, fully guaranteed, every
yeah,
last
and
dime of it.
deserved too, rightfully so. I don't think you can look back on this as a Vikings personnel, management, fan. I don't think you can ever look back at this and say like, "Wow, that was the worst deal ever." Because it's like at the time, like that makes sense. This is your window
Hmm.
to fucking win. And the Vikings have only gotten better this offseason. I don't know who they lost besides like Jarrah McKinnon, but okay, see you later, pal.
Yep. I mean,
Like, okay,
they're gonna lose some guys in the future because of this deal. But I mean, they're going out and trying to win it now, just like
they were so close, man. Last year they were so close with Case Keenum.
the NFC is going to be tough this year, man. I mean, they're going to have to
Brutal,
compete with the Rams, who
brutal,
just loaded up for a championship. The Eagles, who literally just won a Super Bowl. Like the
and lost almost nobody.
the Packers went out and got Muhammad Wilkerson, Jimmy Graham, a
Yeah, I
couple
don't.
guys I also really like. We're kind of just running through these. I'll just touch on that real quick. I really like the Jimmy Graham signing as well. I thought that was 3 years, $30 million. I think that if Aaron Rodgers finally uses a tight end like all the fantasy players have been hoping that he would use one for the last 3 years, or even longer. That he
Big
could,
time touchdowns. Yeah.
yeah, he could be special for that team. We'll see though.
Yeah, don't remind me. And also, too, you have to remember that they face a team 2 times a year who can't cover tight ends for shit.
Yeah,
So,
Hmm.
that's the Lions, by the way,
Yeah.
everybody.
I figured that's what you're talking about.
They let up 194 yards to like
He
a
got Patricia now
backup.
though, and Patricia knows about he had to get his defense to get ready to go against Gronk in practice. So
No, no, that's true. And I think it's going to be a new look NFC North, I guess. I think they're just going to beat the shit out of each other. But I mean, the high caliber, the teams that we know we're seeing, the only teams that are digressing is the Seahawks. The Cardinals aren't even relevant, but you just really got to watch out for the Eagles, Eagles, Packers, Rams, Vikings. Got to watch out for everybody in the fucking NFC South except for the Buccaneers. And then two, don't count out the Cowboys. I mean, they're getting Zeke
yeah.
Elliott back too. So this NFC is going to be a bloodbath, and I hope it's over soon.
Yeah, I mean that's why the Vikings geared up. That's why the Rams geared up. So I have just a couple more guys on my notes. So for one signing that I thought was very, very good, and I thought they made it at the perfect time. Richard Sherman, 3 years, 27 million, 7 million
Yes,
guaranteed. I mean,
yes.
you got a guy for under 10 million a season. Under
One
ten
of
million dollars a season. One of the a former best cornerback in the league. I mean,
still top five.
yeah, if he waited until seeing how much some of these guys got paid, he would have got paid way more. But the 49ers were now, oh, he got dropped. Let's get him. Let's get him right now. They got
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
got him for a huge bargain. He may be the best signing this offseason. I mean, that 49ers team is looking very good. If they can get if they can move them competitor in the next 3 years, they could be another Super Bowl potential team. I mean, they got a lot of pieces in place. They just got to keep building.
I think they're going to be one of those pesky teams. I think like the pesky teams I'm seeing this year that are going to be definitely ruiners. They're going to ruin someone's season down the stretch are going to be the 49ers, the Bears. I think the Redskins always play that. Um,
Hey,
uh,
Jimmy Graham has yet to lose an NFL game. Just saying. Not Jimmy Graham.
Jim,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
I
I'm
was going to
sorry.
say
Jimmy
Jimmy
G.
Graham does have the
Yeah,
best
Jimmy
quarterback rating
G.
of all
Yeah,
time.
Jimmy Graham.
So just speaking of tight ends, by the way, I want to give a huge shout out to Cameron Brate for getting that money. 6 years, 41 million.
Yeah,
Absurd.
that signing that signing
Absurd.
didn't make a lot of sense to me.
That made no sense to me.
Because they just
Six
got
years,
OJ
41
Howard.
million. Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Unless you're going to try to be this bullshit run two tight end system, but like,
But I mean, I guess at the same time, I do get it because Cameron Brate's been incredible. And like, why do you let a good young tight end like that just walk because you drafted somebody else?
no, it's true. And to be fair, when they drafted OJ Howard, it was kind of like we didn't think he was going to be here.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah,
and
he
OJ
slipped
Howard's
so
also
far.
good. But I mean, it's not like it can't work with two tight
No,
end
they'll
system. I
they'll
think
make
it'll
two
work.
tight ends work. I mean, they'll probably use Brait and they'll use almost like a Patriots type offense, run Brait as their Aaron Hernandez without the murders and gay butt stuff, and then
Oh, but I like that stuff.
and then they'll run OJ Howard as their like Gronk, their blocking tight end who can catch.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I still don't like the signing though. I would just
Um,
let him go for the money and just because you guys aren't.
I
It's not
don't
like they're in like a
dislike it.
win now phase. I don't really like it because they just spent this money. I would just try to roll with OJ Howard. Maybe just build up other facets of your team. But if you
Maybe,
want two tight ends, if that makes your offense that much more dynamic, you did just save some money from Doug Martin leaving.
hey man,
Um,
there's nothing wrong with having too many good football players on a team.
I don't know about that because if you have a lot of good offensive players and you have no good defense, you suck.
Hey, I mean, they didn't pay him too much money. He's gonna like they paid him at least yearly, at least for a salary cap. They paid him a big contract, but it's because it's 6 years,
Yeah,
and I mean that's gonna be. I mean, think of that. We're just talking about how these like contracts look like nothing in a couple years. Imagine how that contract's gonna look in 3 years from now. Still 3 years in the contract. If he's still
yeah,
this good, he's gonna be able to be good trade piece if OJ Howard's that good by then.
yeah, or vice versa. OJ Howard's going to be the
Hmm.
trade piece.
Yeah. So anyway, and then there's one to end on a bad note for this section. Uh,
Wah, wah.
Sam Bradford, 1 year, $20 million, 15 million guaranteed.
Insane. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane. Who you guys with Loco? Wait, no, that was the lyrics. Um, no, but like I just didn't get it. I really just didn't understand when I'm sorry, I did understand when I saw Cardinals sign Bradford. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was like 20 million. I was like, no, that's the
Why?
stupidest thing you could have fucking done.
I'd rather fucking sign Tim Tebow and put him out for veterans minimum. Like, why the
Yeah,
hell
I don't understand.
did
Like
you get
2 years, 40 million? Are you fucking kidding me?
this guy? Just gets paid. I don't get it. He has not played a fucking full NFL season. People just keep throwing money at him.
I know that. Well, he was a first overall pick. Let's just keep giving him money.
It's
And then,
literally
of
like,
course, they signed Mike Glennon too. It's like
yeah,
I would
dude.
rather have Mike Glennon
You could just
at
start
this
Mike
point.
Glennon. Instead, it's just like insert Fry from Futurama meme here. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, for Sam Bradford. And don't get me wrong, I think Sam Bradford is one of the best Band-Aid backups in the league. Like if I wanted a backup, I'd be like, yeah, man, I could probably take Sam Bradford.
He's a great backup because he's a great quarterback. He really is. He's a very good quarterback.
He's
He
smart,
he had
smart too.
he set the NFL record for best completion percentage in a season until Drew Brees broke it this year. I mean, he is a very accurate, good quarterback, but he just can't stay healthy. So why are you giving this guy $20 million and then
Yeah,
cutting Tyron Matthew?
exactly. Cutting Tyrann Mathieu, and you're giving this guy this money. Who? When was the last time he started a game?
Beginning of the year when he was playing for the Vikings.
I thought no, I thought they rolled with Case Keenum right out of the bat.
No, they didn't.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter because Sam Bradford's still bad.
He's got
Um,
hurt, and then he like he does every year.
Yeah, I was gonna say what do you mean. So it's just another day. Yeah, I think I'm not. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. You guys had other areas where you needed to spend on,
Yeah,
and you're gonna just waste your time. Like, do you think Sam Bradford's gonna bring your team from the 3-13? What's he gonna elevate to? 5-11?
yeah. Like
Maybe
I'd
six
rather
and ten?
give me Colin Kaepernick or Johnny Manziel. Don't give me fucking
Yeah,
Bradford
absolutely.
on a $20 million contract. Are you kidding me?
I would take Colin Kaepernick 100% over Sam Bradford.
Colin Kaepernick would have been a good fit for them, honestly.
Yeah, with the kind of offense they run, and also too, like you just spent, they spent a lot of money. I mean, they dolled out for Justin Pugh, um,
Which
five
I
years,
love that
45.
signing.
No, I think it's good signing, but I mean, why you are limiting yourself so much by giving Sam Bradford 40 million? You're limiting yourself by giving any quarterback 40 million for 2 years.
20 million 1 year.
I'm sorry, it says in my notes 2 years, 40 million.
Nope, just 1 year.
We'll compare notes. Yeah, but anyway, if you give person, if you give money, money costs, money expensive, and don't waste your money on Sam Bradford is kind of the point.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's the saying, there's no such thing as a bad 1 year deal. But
There is, and it's
when
$20
you're cutting
million.
Tyrann Matthew to get this guy who knows just gonna get hurt, I just don't get it.
Watch out, man. He's gonna get hurt. Oh wait, before we go and do anything else, I want to say shout out to the Detroit Lions for actually signing somebody, LeGarrette Blount. Thank you, fucking God.
Dude, I don't know how we weren't talking about that more.
It's because we beat it to death last year.
Yeah, I mean, you as a Lions fan, me as a Giants fan, we both wanted him. But I mean, now with Matt Patricia there, you guys not having a running back, it made so much sense.
No, absolutely. And like the thing is, they needed a power back. They needed a complement. Riddick and I guess Abdullah, who doesn't play anymore, who's benched. But apparently Abdullah is gonna have a role. I don't buy it, but whatever. He that was a great signing by the Detroit Lions. The first great signing they've had in years. Oh, and thank you for cutting Eric Ebron. That was needed. Not gonna pay that dude $8 million. But anyway, that's all I got. That's all I got for agency wise right now.
Yeah, fuck he's just so bad.
I don't think he's bad. He's talented, but it's just first of all, dude, you got hurt a lot, and you the reason people hate you is because you dropped so many balls at like the most crucial time. The
Mm,
Lions playoffs with Seattle. It was 3rd and 6, and they were like driving down the. It was still young, relatively. Yeah, I think it was in the third, and it was 3rd and 6, and it was wide open, and he just dropped it, and it's like that was
mm.
just such a momentum killer. But no, I mean, I think he's a talented player, and I do feel bad to a degree because he'll never live up to the whole he was drafted before OBJ, before everybody pretty much. So I do feel bad for him in that sense, but just like there's nothing you can do. Stop being vindictive and annoying.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, that was our recap of free agency. There's a lot to talk about. We'll try to touch on some more stuff here and there in the upcoming episodes. There was a lot. It really was, and it was a great free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we've been teasing for a while that we're gonna just keep going through pick by pick and rebuilding these teams. We did Browns last time. Now we're going to go with my team with the number 2 pick, and we're going to rebuild the New York Giants.
God knows they need it.
Yep.
Um,
So I mean, we're doing this later than we did the Browns. I mean, some of them made some of their decisions for us. They went out and got Shermer. I like it. I liked Patricia more, but he chose the Lions. So what are you going to do?
Rightfully so.
You went out and you got, you know what? Fuck yourself. And they went out
Fair
and
enough.
got I don't know if he was their first pick. I don't know if he was their second pick. It might have been McDaniels. But no, I think he was the right pick. I think he's a great grab for that offense. I think he's a very smart offensive guy. I mean, he won assistant coach of the year.
Mm-hmm.
He almost helped bring the Vikings to the Super Bowl. He did wonders with Case Keenum. So I love the signing. Good on the Giants there. going out and getting Dave Gettleman, I didn't like that at all. I feel like you're just gonna end up repeating the same mistakes that you've been making. I want an outside voice, but you know what? He hasn't done an awful job so far. He went
I
out,
mean, I guess your only next against him was the Norwal thing.
yep,
He
and
didn't sign the whale.
he didn't sign him. Got Solder though. He went out and cut like Bobby Hart though, because he was a piece of shit. So good on him. He's he's been pretty on to keeping Odell Beckham. So hopefully he does hold on to him. The draft's going to be a good test for though if I'm really happy with him. But you know what? In this scenario, we're the GMs, so you're fired, Gettleman,
You're fired.
and we are now taking over as
All right,
GM.
hold on. Before we take over, what is the one thing if that Gettleman could do in round one that would make you
Sign
fucking
Josh
hate him?
Rosen.
That
I mean, draft
no,
Josh
that
Rosen.
make you hate him. Make you
Oh.
hate him.
Oh, draft Josh Allen.
Okay, all right. Now we're the GMs. Now you're fired again. We took your job. We giveth and taketh. All right, now let's be the GMs.
Okay, so
Fucking roll.
so we're sitting here, April 3rd. What are we gonna do with this team? So, you know, one signing I want to go out and get. Marquette King just got let go by the Oakland Raiders because they didn't like his personality because Gruden's like slightly old racist, and he's not a Gruden grinder. So you know what? Come on over to the New York Giants. We do not have a punter on the team. Let's go out and get him. Get a guy who can switch fields for us. Just kick the crap out of the ball.
It's
And
important.
it is. It switches entire field. Punters are very important. Respect the brand. And
All right. We'll tag Pat McAfee in this.
and you know, let's go ahead and Marquette King.
No, I think that's a really good signing too. And just, punter is kind of the quarterback of the special teams team. Special teams team? Yeah, that works. So just having a good punter kicker relationship as well. I think that's also imperative. Not much else to say about this pick, but I do think that would be probably the best move at this point. There's no punter on the team, so let's go and get one.
Yeah, man. I think that's really just a good move for the Giants. As far as other moves in free agency, I don't know if there's a lot that
I
I'd
don't
really.
think there's much we should really mess with, to be honest.
It's pretty late into it. I think a lot of the free agencies now is you make after the draft and see what needs you have after that. One thing I'm gonna comment on the old regime, Dave Gettleman. He went out and was able to move that horrendous JPP contract and get a third round pick out of it.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Dave Gettleman. We're going to have another third round pick to pick from.
And it cost us nothing because all we did was just switch fourths.
Yeah. And it was great because I would have cut him if I could, but his salary cap wouldn't let it. So, I mean, I love JPP. He helped bring the Giants to Super Bowl, but he was overpaid. He didn't match. He didn't have his production. I mean, that's what happens. You go out and get this like big contract. You get your agent. You get these huge contracts, and then if you don't live up to what you're getting paid, you get cut. And like sometimes that's just how the business works.
Yeah, and it just so happens that the Buccaneers are in a market for a guy that doesn't like his fingers.
Yeah,
and so that's good.
Maybe they'll pick King Griffin too.
That would be the funniest thing in the fucking world. High five. No. We drafted you for comedic relief.
So
dance monkey.
So anyway, let's get into this draft, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little bit of a rant that it's been stewing inside me the last couple of weeks, so we haven't done this.
I'm gonna go throw myself on cruise control. It's gonna take a year.
So the first pick that the Giants need to do is go out there and get Josh Rosen. Okay. First of all, oh my God, these last couple weeks, the people are starting to correct themselves. They had Josh Rosen going outside the top 10 in some mock drafts. People are nuts.
I saw him like the Cardinals.
Do not believe anything these mock drafts say. Do not believe anything that they say about Josh Rosen going that late. Josh Rosen will be a top 3 pick. If not, he will be a top 5 pick.
And I don't think he'll be sad. He will not pass the 5th pick. I promise you that. And it is insane that people are drawing up these scenarios that Josh Rosen will fall out of the top 10. It is asinine. It will not happen. He is been called the best pure passer in this draft. It is absolutely insane that people who do this for a living think that Josh Rosen will fall out of the top 10. That is absolutely asinine. And then also,
good word choice.
There is thank you. There is also a large majority of people who think the Giants are going to go out and get Saquon Barkley. I love Barkley. I think Barkley is a generational running back. I think he is a guy that you're going to draft expecting to put in a gold jacket one day. But you know what the thing is? The importance of a running back and a quarterback is not even comparable. There is a reason why Sam Bradford got paid $20 million this offseason, and Le'Veon Bell can't get a new contract. He can't get a long-term contract. There is a reason that these things are happening, and it's because running back and quarterback do not compare on any level whatsoever.
No, and reasonably so, by the way.
Yes. And people who think that we are going to go from this 3-win season and take Eli Manning and win a Super Bowl are kidding themselves. We will be lucky if we win 8 games this year, regardless if we take Saquon Barkley. We would be lucky. The Giants need to rebuild. They got fucked over by their old regime. And the only logical move now is to either take a quarterback or trade back, because the value that you could get for this pick is not worth what taking Saquon Barkley instead. If you're going to sit here and tell me that the Colts, who had a 3rd pick, who only traded back 3 picks, got 2 second-round picks, and you would rather have Barkley than 2 second-round picks and like Quentin Nelson, Baker Mayfield, maybe even Nick Chubb or Saquon Barkley, then just definitely getting Saquon Barkley. That's insane. The Giants would have taken that trade if they were planning on taking Saquon Barkley. There's no way you want to take a running back there. That's just nuts. You're either taking a quarterback because it's the only thing that's worth it.
Nobody gives up that many picks for a running back.
Seriously. If you're not going to take a quarterback, then give it to the Bills and go ahead and take the entire Bills' entire draft from them and get fucking like 4 picks inside the top 2 rounds.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the thing is too. I don't want to kill your steam, but
no, go for
it. Just look at how valuable quarterbacks are, and look at how much running backs are valued. It's just exemplified in the trade with the Jets and the Colts. They're not trading to take Saquon Barkley. They want a fucking franchise quarterback because that's how you build your team. And that's, we just see teams that you need the franchise quarterback before you go any farther. I don't want to give too much credit to Blake Bortles, but I don't think the Jaguars would be the Jaguars without Blake Bortles. He's technically a franchise quarterback. Bears went and got their franchise quarterback.
It's a stretch.
It's a stretch. It's a huge stretch. It's kind of like one of those Scott Levins first baseman stretch. But Stafford, they're building around him. I mean, you need a franchise quarterback. Look at a good NFL team and tell me that they could win with just a good running back and an average quarterback.
Yeah, man. I mean, Leonard Fournette's great, but if you're going to sit here and tell me that the Jaguars wouldn't be happier with Watson, you're kidding yourself, because a quarterback is that important. It really is. And it's just that's really what they need to do. I mean, if they trade back, I'm not going to be livid. I mean, like, if we're getting a lot, it's hard to be mad, but at the same time,
especially in a rebuilding too.
But do you really want to be in this position where you're going to rebuild this team and all of a sudden you're going to be just good enough to be like missing playoffs or just good enough to just make playoffs, and then you have no quarterback and you have no chance of winning a Super Bowl because you have no quarterback, and you have to mortgage your entire future, go up and get a quarterback when you could have just got one in a great quarterback class this year?
I mean, you want to tap into this gold mine too. That's why so many. I find it comparable to like the running back class last year.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was just like, "Well, we'll take a running back because these are all star studs, and we
Yeah,
will wait to the
and
fifth."
I
You need to
love,
take a quarterback right now.
yeah, I love this quarterback class, and that's why I think you take a quarterback with this pick. And I mean, I have my opinions on the guys to take, but if you're sitting here and you tell me that you think Giants take quarterback, I'm happy with your opinion because I'm just a guy. I watched tape on these guys. I love Rosen. I think Rosen is the truth. I will scream it from the rooftops and I will die on this hill that Rosen will be a good NFL quarterback. I don't know where he'll fall. I think he has a ceiling of Aaron Rodgers and I think his floor is maybe like a bad season by Eli or like a bad season by Matt Ryan. I think that's where his floor is. He's still a good NFL quarterback at the end of the day. Maybe like an Andy Dalton at the absolute bottom kind of thing. Like at the end of the day, he's still a good NFL quarterback.
You think he's gonna be a top 15 quarterback? I mean, and also
Yes.
don't try to put too much stat wise into it. You have to remember there's so many trials and tribulations of an early drafted quarterback. Stafford was terrible his first year. He was
Exactly.
horrendous. He
Hmm.
was absolutely horrendous.
And it's crazy to me. It is crazy to me the type of things that people say why Josh Rosen shouldn't get picked. It's like
Too
he is
smart.
too smart. Too smart thing. You know who they also said about that? They said that same thing about Aaron Rodgers. They said he was taught too well. He was he was like too coached. He was too
He's too
smart.
good. He has to go to Super NFL.
They like say he was like mechanical at this point. It's like, are you kidding me? Like it really he reminds me of having these Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning traits. Is why I would put him above these other quarterbacks. I think a lot of these quarterbacks have a lot of traits you like, but the one negative that everyone's saying for Josh Rosen is why I think he's the best quarterback. And this smart, like yes, I tell you this, it can make him it can make the coachability very hard. It can make him uncoachable because if he doesn't respect you and thinks he's smarter than you, it's gonna make it hard to coach him. But for the Giants, for a guy who every single time you talk to Josh Rosen, he gets giddy talking about Shermer. I don't know how you're worried about that. He has literally brought up Shermer in multiple interviews, and he's giddy every single time he talks about him. About like he's like it was just crazy seeing him on TV. Like I just saw him. I just saw him in his press conference. Like I met Shermer. Like who talks about Shermer like that? He's an assistant coach, but he respects him so much.
First year head coach. Because he knows. I mean, he knows how well. I don't know if they have
He
any
also
prior
good,
repertoire, but I
you know,
mean, we saw this season. He made Case Keenum a fucking star.
yeah, and that's the kind of guy that Rosen will respect and learn from. And then so there's a couple storylines that I want to talk about with him a little bit too. So there's a whole thing with Jim Mora. Did you see that? His old
Was it
UCLA
Rosen and
coach.
Jim Mora?
What his old UCLA coach Jim Mora said about him?
I probably saw it, but no, I didn't. I
So,
can't.
so what he said was that he would take Darnold over Rosen if he was the Browns.
And I don't think that's a dig at Rosen.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody took it as a dig, and he actually came on and cleared it up. I don't know if he was just trying to make it sound better for himself, but you know what? Honestly, I was like mad about it at first. I thought about it. I was like, maybe he's just trying to save him from the fucking Browns.
Trying to help a guy out.
Yeah, because he's like maybe this one Browns. Because that's basically what he said when he came on. He's like, hold on. He's like, just because I think he's a better fit for the Browns doesn't mean I don't think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I don't think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I think he's the best prospect in this draft altogether. And he's like, yes, I said, and another thing he said, he's like, he's like, if you want the best from him, you're gonna have to like challenge him, and he's gonna have to answer why. Otherwise, he's not gonna be as good. But if you do that, he can be amazing. And I don't think he's like that's not a dig either. It's just the truth. He's like, I'm just telling you what I know about him, which is truth. Everything I know about Rosen, he's the kind of guy who wants to know why. He wants to know why we're doing this. He wants to know everything about this. And
It's like fucking Rain Man.
yeah, dude. And people are talking about like, oh, another thing that a common storyline's brought up is like he doesn't love football. And it's like,
Okay, get the fuck out of here.
why? What do you mean he doesn't love football? He is one of the smartest quarterbacks like I've ever seen. Who dedicates that much of their life to football and doesn't love it? And it's like, yeah, he's rich. He can be doing anything. Yes, he can be doing anything, and he chooses to do this.
Yeah, so he
Like,
doesn't do football. I don't understand.
I do get,
So his dad is what, number like 3 surgeon in the country or whatever?
yeah,
Not
and like,
mistaken. And that's not the thing, but like what I mean, what it is, it's like being rich is more of like that he could just do whatever the fuck he really wants to. If he doesn't have, it's not like he's playing football to win a scholarship anywhere or
yeah,
get a
people
lot of
love
money.
people love pushing this. They love pushing this like silver spoon type thing, but it's just simply, it's not just because he's rich doesn't mean it's true. This guy has gotten along with all of his teammates his entire life, and he's just a great guy, honestly. There's a story I heard today about him where in high school, I think it was high school, yeah, his football team was supposed to go like train in Hawaii at Marcus Mariota's old school, and where Alabama's quarterback this year's old school, and
Okay.
they were supposed to go there, and they were supposed to all like raise like $1,500 each, aka he went to a rich school. Everybody goes and asks their parents, and they cut a check.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly what that means.
there were some underprivileged kids on the team who couldn't afford it, and that pissed Rosen off. And he didn't like the idea that he could just cut a check and that they couldn't go. So he went out, put a suit on, went around the town, and got a bunch of businesses to sign up for a discount card, and then got all the people on the team to sell discount cards to the around town so that they could
To make their profit.
raise money to send those kids. And he sent like 4 kids to on the trip.
Wow, what a good Tinder bio.
Yeah,
No, that's true. Like it's like, no, like I mean, that is like really, that's very impressive, and it shows to his character, and it shows that he's willing to do almost anything for his teammates that he knows he'll never see again because he knows he's going to UCLA and
seriously.
probably NFL.
And then people were talking about like how like his UCLA teammates didn't like him, stuff like that. And literally just people chiming on Twitter like, I don't know where the fuck you heard this from because it's not true. And they were just all like, it's just ridiculous. This what they're pushing on, and then just all right. Let me just, all right. There's all this stuff that pisses me off that I want to chime in. Let me just tell you, as a quarterback, this guy,
backyard quarterback.
I'm a backyard quarterback, so I would know. But he can sling a ball. And I watched his film. I watched the pro day. Everyone was all jacked up over, Josh Allen. Don't get me wrong, Josh Allen, incredible arm. He can throw the ball deeper than I've ever seen a guy throw a ball. But you know what? These videos are going viral of him hitting these people deep. Josh Rosen was throwing like 5 yards less deep and was hitting them on dimes while he was like making people stop for him. Like
the tangibles are absolutely there too. It's not like he's a working project. I mean, the tangibles are there. We saw that on his scouting report.
He has one of the highest drop rates of all quarterbacks coming out of this class. His team sucked. His drop rate was worse than Josh Allen's, who didn't even have that high of a drop rate, yet going to a worse school that everyone's like, oh, well, his team was bad. You know what? Josh Rosen's team wasn't good, and he played against way better talent.
Yeah, way better talent. And that's going to eventually hinder Josh Allen too. But that's for another time. I think Josh Rosen is the absolute 100% safe pick here. There's no way about it. We need to get a franchise quarterback and to have that kind of leadership and kind of the sense of calmness in their head at that young age with the New York media. I think that's also very, very important. And just in general, I mean, he's always cared about his teammates. There's nothing wrong with this pick. The other quarterbacks just don't really fit fit what we want. I think we want the Josh Allen or Josh Rosen. Josh Allen is. We said this before in a couple other episodes. He is 100% a work in progress.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
don't want a work in progress. We want
I hate him.
mind.
I hate him top five. I mean, like, I really like if there was like 10, outside the top 10, really, I would love to have Josh Allen. I mean, once again, his arm's the most incredible arm I've ever seen. It just he can't. He's not accurate. I mean, he's never thrown for a 60% completion percentage, and I don't know a quarterback who's succeeded doing that. I really Brett Favre. That's the only person I can think of. He's the only quarterback in the modern era who's thrown for less than 60% in every single one of his years in college and succeeded. Nobody else. Even Stafford threw for over 61 year, and he wasn't accurate in college.
I mean,
and he wasn't close. He was like 55%. I have this stat real quick. So wide receiver drop rates for notable quarterbacks. Sam Bradford, 5.3% drop rate. Baker Mayfield, 9.4. Josh Allen, 7.8. Josh Rosen, 13.2.
13.2.
His wide receivers dropped 13.2% of his passes.
That's insane. What was Stafford's if you have it?
I have no idea. It was just this year's on me.
Fine.
But yeah, man, I love Rosen. I think he really is just a gamer. I think he's got big time talent. He's really the pick there. But like I said, if it's a quarterback, I still think it's a good call.
I think quarterback's the best call here. I don't know why we would. The only reason we wouldn't is if they all died and there was only one quarterback available, or we trade back to like 5.
Or if and then so there's scenario let's say I don't think they will. Let's say Rosen gets taken by the Browns number 1. Who are you taking there?
That is rough, but you probably have to go. I mean, we can't. This is like a no trade back scenario.
You can, but I still wouldn't.
I would trade back for what we could do, but let's just say no trade backs. I think you still have to go Sam Darnold. I'm not gonna, and I am not as crazy about him as I am with Rosen. Sam Darnold or Barkley. I'll go with Barkley. If we're not getting the guy we want, then there's no point. And I think that we've solidified the fact that he is our guy. We want him. We don't want anyone else. We don't want to take a compensatory quarterback. We want that guy, and we'll fall in love with someone next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll make it clear. I do think he's there. I don't agree with you on this, but I mean, I do agree with you on Rosen. Rosen's going to be our pick for this scenario, but I do want to give a couple of my thoughts on that. So, first of all, my guy would probably be Baker. I love Baker Mayfield. I think that he would fit Shermer's West Coast very well. He's an extremely accurate quarterback. He's a gamer as well. He's a very smart quarterback. There's this new I forgot what it's called. It's not very common. I'm sure none of you really heard of it, but look it up. There's another test to test NFL players' intelligence that they're trying to replace the Wonderlic because it's supposed to be more like a better test. They're doing a lot of research to try to improve it, and Baker Mayfield got the highest score they've ever gotten from anybody on it. He's also a very intelligent guy. He threw 60 miles per hour at the
impressive.
Combine. Extremely impressive. It was 1 mile faster than Rosen, which surprised the hell out of me. I still think Rosen has a better deep ball, but he has better zip apparently. Josh Allen obviously broke the record because he's Josh Allen. Shattered the record, but
he's a fucking pitcher.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield tied Pat Mahomes. So
did he?
Yeah, that's
who's got a cannon.
It's impressive as shit what he threw. I think Baker Mayfield's gonna be a good quarterback in this NFL, and I also Sam Darnold's my number 3, and I like Darnold. It's just my opinion. There's a lot of talk that Josh Allen might go number 1 to the Browns. The Browns being Browns. Apparently, that's the rumor.
That would be the worst fit in the world. We've talked about this so many times.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
that's the worst fit in the world.
I mean, they would just have to rock with Tyrod for a few years and hope that he develops. But regardless, if that happens, and the rumors of the Giants are taking Darnold, and again, I mean, these are all my opinions. I've watched this tape, but all these scouts are saying Darnold's the guy. I gotta believe him that at some point when they're all saying that. I mean, I've seen a little bit from Darnold. He has a really good instinct. He knows how to put the ball right where a guy can get it. He just knows how to instinctually like know where these guys are gonna go and where he's gonna put it. He's a very smart guy. It's like football smart, but his mechanics are so fucked, man. Is they're not fucked like Tebow fucked or anything, but like
Le'Veon Bell fucked.
they're just they're just like so long. Like that's why
they seem lanky and almost like mechanical.
It's just
like,
why he got
like,
it's why he got so many turnovers this year. It's because it was like almost half his turnovers are freaking fumbles, and it's because they just strip sacked the hell out.
I think more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was less, but I think it wasn't far off from being half, which is still crazy for fumbles. And it's just because of that long motion. And in the NFL, it's only going to get worse. So they need to fix that. I'd rather go with the guy who already has his mechanics ready, Baker or Rosen. But
I think too. I mean, Darnold kind of tries to muscle balls in there that don't need to get muscled in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's like an immaturity thing that he's like, I'll fucking whistle this in and see the cool spiral.
Yeah,
but
I mean, and Darnold doesn't have any injury problems, which is like something that people have brought up for the other guys. And I mean, people mostly try to give it. I mean, Darnold's big, and Darnold's got a big body. He's got a big frame. I get why people love him,
but he doesn't slide.
Yeah,
like when he's getting hit, that a lot of fumbles came that way too because they just get jarred loose.
Yeah, but like one thing I want to comment on real quick with this whole quarterback thing is everyone brings up like Rosen injury. Are we not going to talk about how Baker Mayfield had 2 concussions in 3 games in college? Are we not going to talk about like Allen's shoulder injury? Like,
not even the injury thing. I think it's better to get hurt in college than in the pros. Like we saw guys that didn't get hurt in college and then start getting hurt in the pros.
Yeah.
So I think I would rather than get hurt in the college. And it's not a big deal for me. You're going to get hurt. It's football. It does happen.
And know what the thing is? I would love to see Rosen sit for a year behind Eli because you know what? Eli, he's definitely tough. He doesn't get injured a lot, but it's also he's smart. I mean, it's week 4. It's second down. Are you going to hold in the pocket and try to make that pass, or are you going to follow the ground because DeMarcus Ware is about to light you up? You follow the ground because we want you for a full season. We don't care about that second down in the long run.
Break, yeah. Even if it's like a third down, just like if you see him coming, just
week
sit down.
4, it's not the game is on the line. Then just we don't want you hurt.
And Rosen did that though. We saw him do that at UCLA. He wasn't going to go try to scramble. He would get hit and take down.
I mean, Rosen definitely held in the pocket. He didn't scramble, but he would hold in the pocket longer, and he tried making throws that he shouldn't make, which is where some of his picks came, where some of his injuries came. But like, I think Eli's somebody who can at least teach him the injury part. Eli throws some of the stupid ones too, but shooters are going to shoot. So throw those passes, and and if it's a pick, you know what? You're not gonna win. Eli wasn't gonna win the Super Bowl if he didn't toss that ball up to David Tyree and hope he caught it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he barely caught it. Like it's just, but, I mean, same thing. I mean, but yeah, I think all right. So I think we solidified the fact that Josh Rosen is going to us at number 2.
So that was a long part of it, but yeah, we'll move on to the next part. Second round.
Well, second round. I mean, we just talked about earlier that we did just trade JPP away. So that creates an immediate need for an edge rusher. So we come to the collaborative decision that we're going to take Rasheem Green. It's Rasheem, by the way, everyone.
Rasheem, yeah. I found a guy that was a wide receiver by accident when I was doing something else. R Green, and I didn't know. But regardless, Rasheem Green
being racist.
Yeah, 6'5", 275. Giants just switched to a 3-4. So like getting these like 6'4", 250 guys aren't going to slide anymore. You can't bring these guys on the edge. You're going to have to play those guys at linebacker. If you want a defensive end, you're going to get some size. And even 6'5", 275 is honestly even a little bit small. But he was very impressive at USC. He's young too. He's still 20 years old, and he had 10 sacks this year, and 12.5 tackles for loss, and he played defensive tackle for USC. He didn't even play edge. And that's a perfect type of guy to put into a 3-4 defense. A guy who can play inside, but it can also pass rush and has the size to play end.
Yeah, I mean, especially too, you're turning into this new. We are turning into this new defense, therefore they haven't ever really done before, and he has the propensity to play both positions. He can go outside. I think I think for us in the second round, I think he's a perfect fit. Obviously, the only concerns are, of course, that he is going to slip into the first round eventually because the teams ahead of us, the Browns, Eagles, Patriots, definitely could use his help and his services.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a worry. But I mean, in that case, we had talked about possibly taking a guy like Isaiah Wynn, who we brought for the Browns. Mm-hmm. He's a guard / tackle. I hope that's not the scenario. I think Rasheem Green is almost a perfect fit. I'm going to go into that even a little bit more. But if they do that, I'm expecting them to take offensive line. So that means the offensive line are going to slip. So just because somebody gets taken doesn't mean that you're not going to get another player you like fall to you. But a couple of things I was mentioning to Ryan at one point why it's such a Giants pick is, all right, so let's start out. 6'5", 275. Let's look at some of the great DNs the Giants have drafted in the past because they've had a large history of this. Justin Tuck, 6'4", 256. That's like a little bit off, but it's still a little bit close. JPP, 6'5", 270. Matthias Kunuka, 6'5", 266. Let's see. JPP ran a 4.78. Kunuka ran a 4.74. Green ran a 4.73. 20-yard shuttle. JPP 4.67. Kunuka 4.13. Rasheem Green 7.24. 7.27. Oh wait. Oh, I mixed up. I'm not going to just read stats, you guys. You can look it up. That's more.
That's okay. Yeah, just they're very identical.
They're very identical. Like very super close, very impressive for their size. I think that is just a type of guy. I mean, while we're talking about the Browns, there was a guy in the Browns a couple years ago that I loved for the same reasons.
Yay.
Who was? I'm trying to think his name off the top of my head, Ryan.
Emmanuel Ogbah.
I loved Emmanuel Ogbah. He's a similar guy. Be honest, I've been thinking
awesome.
I've been thinking about this. The Browns do go out and get like a Nick Chubb or a Green. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be interested in inquiring about Emmanuel Ogbah.
Would they be willing to trade it though? Because I think they're kind of getting a good thing going that he can play on that weak side of.
I mean, if they get
opposite of Dinosaur fan.
But I'm saying if they get Rasheem Green or Nick Chubb.
Yeah, that's true. But you always want to have like really good rotational DMs.
But you got Carl. You got Carl Nassib too.
No, I know you did, and I see the logic there. They might, and I don't know what they'd really want for him, especially with his contract is coming up right about.
Yeah, I think next year. Maybe we go out and if this pick isn't there, we go out and offer him a 4th round pick for it.
That's definitely worth it. I mean, Emmanuel Ogbah coming out, I was really jazzed about him. I think I had him rated higher than Taco Charlton in other different years, but
yeah.
I mean, and he was like a 2nd round pick, and Taco Charlton was a 1st.
Yeah.
So
I definitely had him rated higher too. I wasn't interested in Taco Charlton at all, really. Emmanuel Ogbah,
sick name though.
Yeah, it is. I really do like him though. I mean, they remind me a lot of Rasheem Green, but is the pick here though? But I mean, that's also another route we go down. There, he's a little bit more athletic, but he's a little bit less motivated. A couple of things to say about Rasheem Green though. I was reading there. A couple of scouts said that if he waited another year to come out, they thought he could have been a top 10 pick when he got some more strength. I mean, you're just going early on this guy. In that case, if they truly believe that, then give him a redshirt year like the Giants did with JPP, where he really just played special teams, then took over the world. And I'm perfectly fine with doing that. We're not trying to win right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also too, so like, oh, they give him another year, he would have been a top 10 pick. I mean, obviously that just plays well into our favor. But also
Exactly.
too, when you take him and you redshirt him at an NFL level,
Mm-hmm.
that's outstanding because he's going to get the NFL coaches experience.
And he's still going to play. He's not really
Yeah,
redshirting. He's just not
no,
going to start. He's going to play a
yeah,
lot of special teams. He's going to play some situational pass rushing,
yeah.
and he's
And you guys aren't expected to win the division this year,
exactly.
not with the Eagles
Yeah,
coming in hot, but maybe in 3 or 4 years he'll be that guy. I think he can be.
exactly. And I wanted to mention one thing I kind of forgot to talk about with another reason why we're going to take Josh Rosen, our quarterback, in the first. Another thing, just for all you people who don't think we should get it, uh, you know how important it is to have a quarterback on a rookie deal? Do you know how much cap room that gives you? If we can go ahead and get rid of Eli next year, have that cap room to sign Landon Collins, OBJ, and still have money left over. I mean, there's a reason that like other than Manning, Roethlisberger, and Brady, that like all these other quarterbacks who have won the Super Bowl have been on rookie deals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like there is very few quarterbacks who can go out and win it without a rookie deal because you can build this great team around these guys. And I mean, that's why the Rams and the Eagles look so good for the next couple of years and why people are scared of them. It's because they went all in with a good young quarterback. And like that's why they're making all these moves right now. And that's the position I want to put the Giants in a couple of years.
No, I agree too. And then not to mention just a little similar caveat: the NFC East, everyone has their quarterback now, so get one while you can, just so you can start competing sooner than later.
Except for kind of the Redskins. Redskins kind of have it.
Yeah, I kind of have one. I think they have one.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is going to be good for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't
Mhm.
think it's their time to win a fucking Super Bowl, but I don't think he himself is going anywhere. But with the second round pick, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, we got Rasheem Green. So then we explained why I think he's a good fit.
And identical to the Giants draft likings.
Yeah, I mean, there's like we said, there's other positions. The offensive line be important there. Then maybe even a Darius Geis there would be good because he's such a talent. I wouldn't be mad at any of those. I just think Rasheem Green is really just such a perfect fit. I think you get your Giants love their edge rushers. Get that out of the way. You got your edge rusher of the future just after you lose JPP. Let's go out. We got third round picks and let's fill some other needs there.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Darius Goose or Juice, whatever the fuck it is.
Guys.
Darius Geis, I think. Yeah, that's the same. It's so weird. He spells it like Goose, but it's Geis. Anyway,
Louisiana people.
Weird French Southerners, redneck people. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the we just said that we'd have 2 third-round picks. Now, what we're going to do with the first third round, I think we can agree that we're going to take the BPA running back. And that's the best option to do. I mean, especially
There's a lot of guys we can go over too.
And Jonathan Stewart's a Band-Aid, so let's just be honest. Mm-hmm.
But we can go out a guy that, it's not really a fair comparison for me to do because it's too easy. Go out and get somebody like Jonathan Stewart and go out and get a Royce Freeman, similar size, similar speed, same school. He can learn from Jonathan Stewart for a year. He's got a lot of athletic ability. He can become a power back for us, and he could just be an all-around back. I think he would be a very interesting pick there.
Yeah, and I think power backs are in the NFL are almost instantly startable.
Yeah,
with his size, like he can come in and play. He doesn't need to be like kind of bottle fed into it. I think he'll be fine. Spoon fed into it to me.
Yeah, and you could just like let him learn behind Jonathan Stewart and that leadership for a few games, and then let him slowly work into that role. And then you have a Gallman as a receiving quick back next to him. So I think that would be, getting a power back probably a good fit. Power backs are good because they can just wear down defenses and really just helps your offense overall. I don't know how much Freeman can catch. I hope he will catch well for us because that's something that I think is becoming more important in the NFL. But yeah, that's why I like him there.
You got the
couple.
receiving back, so I mean Gallman, you just said.
Yeah, I mean,
And
and Gallman doesn't have
Stewart's
the
still there to
best
help
hands,
him
but
as
he has good
well.
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stewart's going to be there to help him as well.
Hmm.
And this is a good running back class. I know that I think the best fit. I don't know. I liked Rashad Penny, but I think with what the Giants are doing, I think the power back move with Royce Freeman
Yeah,
is the best fit. And I
and
doubt he's not going to be
Penny's a little
there.
bit of a power back himself.
He is. He's not. I mean, he's 5'11", 220, so he's
Yeah.
kind of just like your standard. I think he's very Willis McGahee esque. I think he
Mhm.
could be a really good starter. The reason I would take him is that you would have him pretty much um, just taking shifts away with Jonathan Stewart, and then hopefully working to that full time starter role. But
Yeah,
you can't really go wrong Royce Freeman or Rashad Penny in this
I
time.
could see Penny working on his hands a little bit. He's dealt with less injuries than Freeman. I could see Penny being a good all around back in the NFL, and that's something to consider. Another
Yeah,
guy, I know we were talking. You were like, will he be here? But I think you got if Nick Chubb's there, you got to look into him.
I mean if he's there, you take him,
So
but I just don't think he's there.
this is my thought on it. So yes, like yeah, he's a very good player. People have him going high. Well, first of all, running backs tend to slip. That's my first argument. Is running backs never are valued as high as we think they are. They're I mean they always fall because the NFL just doesn't value running backs. And then second of all, he had the huge knee injury in college, which makes you worry that I mean he tore up everything, and there's going to be some cartilage like bone on bone action he's going to end up dealing with his career. I mean that's a reason that like a guy like Jay Ajayi, who was supposed to be a second round slipped to the fourth round.
Mm.
Um, I think that you get Nick Chubb expecting he's going to have a shorter career. So I mean that's why he might slip. But I do think Nick Chubb's a very good player. I think he would be a guy that that could would be a great grab. I don't even know if he would be the guy I want there. I definitely want to look into everybody you can get. Uh, I would love to get somebody you could catch. That's the thing. And one guy I would think would come to my mind would be like a guy like Ronald Jones could be there. He's a little
Yeah,
bit of a
out
shifty
of
back.
USC, absolutely.
I like him a lot. I think he could break those long runs. He's elusive. He's a good back, but he really can't catch either. There's not a lot of good receiving backs in this draft.
No, I'm not really sure who the best receiving back is. I'm
But
trying to put my thumb on it. I can't think of any in this round. I think most of these are just your typical running back. But if we can get Nick Chubb, just grab him. Get Nick Chubb
yeah,
if you can.
yeah, I'll
He
take
fits
Nick Chubb.
perfectly. If you can, especially you can like kind of have him working with John Stewart and then have Wayne Gallman. And that's kind of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Giants have a history of power, speed, and the in between guy, earth, wind, fire kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, we always want
the
to
1 year.
look back at that one year. Yeah, it was a good year though. We all always remember that year.
I always remember to find that. I think if we can get let's I mean basically the underlying thing, it's not more so the running backs that we're going to take. It's more so the fact that we're going to take a running back because we have 2 third-round picks. Let's jump on a guy. It might be even a little early, but if we can jump on a running back and have him potentially be a starter with Josh Rosen, I think that's a perfect fit. And especially the wide receivers are pretty much set for the most part.
Yeah. So I do think that's a great fit. And so let let's move on. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take either we had a couple options here. We love Alex Kappa here. He's a small school mauler, guard type guy. He can play guard or tackle. He played tackle in college, but people see him more as a guard in the NFL. Uh, he's from Humboldt State. He's just a nasty mauler. I mean, you just watch his tape and he just pancakes everybody. It's a smaller school, so there's some worry there, but I would love to bring him in and see and just have his kind of potential. I mean, I could see if Gettleman likes him, Gettleman found Norwell, maybe this guy will be the new Andrew Norwell, just a fucking mauler.
Yeah, an absolute beast between the pipes. And then actually, it'll be cool because if we could get Alex Kappa, there'll be Nate Solder. Then we have Alex Kappa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we have Eric Flowers moving over to the right, which I think would just really help Eric Flowers develop as
Yeah,
a player.
I honestly think moving him the guard is the best situation. So maybe getting a tackle in this draft would be good. But I mean, I don't know. We'd try him around. This is the last year to try him. So try him at tackle. Doesn't work there, then move him to guard. If it doesn't work there, and we get rid of him. So that's why we got to prepare. Another guy we should look at is Orlando Brown.
Absolutely. I know he's still being considered a round one prospect. There's no fucking way.
Oh no, those people are
He-
stupid.
He shit his pants so hard.
I honestly think this is an early pick for him, to be completely honest.
Oh yeah. I was thinking maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah,
But
like
this is the thing too, that he was a first round talent, quote unquote, for a reason. Getting him in the third, while we already had a quality pick, that's not bad.
I mean,
he was reason he was first.
I mean, he's Eric Flowers.
Eric Flowers 2.0.
Yeah.
And if you could throw him at right tackle and then throw Flowers inside, why
And
not?
you know what? That's fine. I'm fine with him being Eric Flowers. You know why? Because we're not drafting him fucking top 10, and we can try him around. We can try him at guard and tackle. We're not like, no, he's a left tackle. We're gonna play him at left tackle.
even though he gets manhandled.
Yeah. So let's try him around. Let's take that big body and see if he can do anything. You know, I think it's a good shot. I like Kappa here too. I think it really depends on if we get Win in the first round. If we
Even
get
them, but
if we get Win, I'd probably say just go get Alex Kappa, and you got a guy who can play right tackle for you already. I mean, he can play both.
absolutely.
But I think maybe you take Orlando Brown and see if like maybe a Kappa slips. But anyway, yeah, I think addressing offensive line is very important there. So we're just gonna do one more round. We're gonna go ahead and just do 4th round. And
Monty got a little bit of a steal here, so let's go ahead and talk about that.
yeah, so we gotta go ahead and pick with the Bucks 4th. We had to switch with them. So we're gonna go ahead and take a guy by the name of Perry Nickerson. I'm not saying a racial slur here. It's
Yes, he is.
Nickerson.
Sue him.
Cornerback out of Tulane. He is really he's just a gritty, and he's black too. I'm not just saying this as like a white thing. He's just a gritty.
I don't see color, so I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a gritty cornerback that just is very athletic. You ran like what, a 4.34?
No, 4.32.
4.32, and he last year he had a good year. But the year before that, his junior year, he had a great year. He had the lowest quarterback rating against him out of all returning defensive backs, even lower than Minka Fitzpatrick.
That was his junior year.
That was his junior year. Yeah, he came out and still had a good senior year, but his junior year was insane.
But it's tough to have a good senior year after, because they're going to be like, don't throw him his way.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of small. He's 5'10", 182. He's going to play more of a slot corner initially, at least. Maybe he played well on the outside in college, so maybe he can eventually, because his athleticism, play out there. But the Giants don't need him to. For some reason, they're going to try out. We're going to keep rolling with Eli Apple, who's just an asshole. But,
He's well, he's up from Ohio State, so I don't know.
He's just the worst person in the world, but we're gonna try with him. We need
garbage.
We need a slot corner anyway. I think he would be a great slot corner. I mean, that's a position I thought the Giants should get for a while. I wanted them to get Jordan Lewis last year to be a slot corner. I think this guy can do a lot of the same things that Jordan Lewis could have done for us. I think he's a very athletic, very solid corner. Just plays football well, and will just give you everything he's got.
Good value pick in the 4th too. Try to solidify the secondary.
I think you go out and get him, and we just drafted ourselves 4 starters for.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's what. And when you're in the rebuilding phase,
granted, we're not going to start Rosen, but we could. He's probably better than Eli already. But
I don't know. I don't know about that right now, just because by NFL standards, you just never know. We could definitely start whoever we take in the 2nd round and the 3rd and the 4th. I think the Nickerson is the best one with value wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can really help out the defense, especially too. We don't have to like do a hard physical correction or assimilate him immediately. If we want
Yeah.
to just play him around a little bit and like kind of test his feet, I mean, eventually we're gonna have to kick his butt into the secondary rotation. But he can come in some packages. He doesn't have to play right away. But I think he will be starting if we take him in 4.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think he's a great pick. I think we we killed it with every one of these rounds. I think you're just building a good core for the future, and I think it's just a great start to rebuilding these New York Giants. I think it puts them in a great place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if we get Rosen, I'll be thrilled, and then everything else is just it's just toppings.
I think we get Rosen. And let's just, I mean, explaining what we did, we took Rosen. You need a quarterback that's how you start your rebuild. That's just cookie cutter rebuild. And then we
Mhm.
took an edge rusher because we just switched over
Probably the
defenses.
second most important possession in football.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a lineman, probably the second to
Alignment.
third most important position in
You can
football.
argue the first.
And we got running back, which is one of the lowest, but still
One of the
is
lowest, but to get a valued running back is awesome because we see so many times that like I mean, we see all the time that like undrafted free agents become the team's running back or the 5th, 6th round guys. But in this class, they're going to be talented. If we can get one early, solidify that running game, nothing wrong with that. Solidifies the offense.
yeah, man.
So,
I agree. Well, we went through. We spent a lot of time on this, so let's go ahead and end it. But I think we had a good show, and we'll be back next week. I promise we'll be less pieces of shit now.
I don't want to promise anything, especially about being less of a piece
We
of
promised.
shit.
We promise. Yeah, I mean,
I promise nothing.
right. We don't. We don't actually have to do it if we don't want.
Oh,
Well, we'll
right.
be back next week.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Oops.
All right.
In the cup.
Well, we'll see you next time on Did I call it? We have it on draft beginning.
You did.
No,
No, not in the beginning. No, you said. Oh fuck! I don't
might
know.
have said. Well, we're draft punks. That's our old name.
Don't add us. Actually, do add us because you want that fame.
Oh, yep. Follow us on draft
Twitter.
punks. Yep, Twitter.
Twitter.
All right.
Draft
Bye.
fame.